Hello students, I am Mohan Kumari. Welcome to MK Classes for Biology. In my classes, I am going to explain the concepts of PUC2 and CRT syllabus. Once I complete theory part, I will be doing NEET of the particular chapter. So in today's class, let me start with the chapter Reproduction in Organisms. As we all know, reproduction is one of the physiological processes in all living organisms. All living organisms should have to reproduce in order to continue its race. Let us see what is reproduction. Reproduction is a biological process in which an organism gives rise to young ones of its own kind. The produced young one can be called as offspring. Now these offsprings can grow, mature and in turn produce new offspring. Thus, there is a cycle of birth, growth and death of the organism. And reproduction enables the continuity of the species generation after generation, thus ensures the continuity of every organism on the earth. Let us see the concept of lifespan. Here you can see the chart showing different organisms with a different period of lifespan. So lifespan of an organism matters during the process of reproduction. So let us see what is lifespan. Lifespan is the period from birth to the natural death of an organism. Lifespan of an organism may be few minutes to several thousand years. So now we will see the lifespan of different organisms. Elephant can live up to 65 to 90 years, rose plant up to 5 to 7 years, dog can up to 10 to 13 years, butterfly can live up to 1 to 2 weeks, crow can live up to 15 years, banana plant up to 2 to 3 years, cow can live up to 20 to 25 years. We have got few more examples here. Parrot can live up to 140 years, crocodile up to 60 years, horse up to 30 to 40 years, fruit fly can end its life in 30 days, rice plant up to 4 months, tortoise up to 100 to 150 years and banyan tree can live up to 200 to 300 years. By saying these organisms with a different period of lifespan, we can say lifespan of organisms are not necessarily correlated with their size. That means size of the organism never decides its lifespan. In order to justify the statement, we have got two examples. Let us see the first one. When we compare the size of the crow and a parrot is almost the same, but the lifespan of crow is 15 years and parrot is of 140 years. We have got one more example, the mango tree and the peepal tree. The mango tree has the shorter lifespan when we compare with that of peepal tree, though both are of same size. Whatever be the lifespan of an organism, death of every individual organism is a certainty. That is, no individual is immortal except single-celled organisms. Single-celled organisms are immortal. How can we say this? Because there is no natural death in single-celled organism because they divide and form two new cells. What are the significance of reproduction? Reproduction enables the continuity of the species generation after generation. It maintains the life of the particular species on the earth. It creates genetic variation among populations. let us see types of reproduction. Reproduction generally classified into two types: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, the offspring is produced by a single parent without the fusion of gametes. In sexual reproduction, the two parents of opposite sex, that is male and female organism, participate in the reproductive process and also involve formation and fusion of male and female gametes in order to produce new individual. Asexual reproduction, which involves a single parent in order to produce offspring. The offsprings that are produced are not only identical to one another but are also exact copies of their parent. These offsprings are also genetically identical to each other. The term clone is used to describe such morphologically and genetically similar individuals. Here, students, one more question can be asked: what is clone? The clone can be defined as the individuals that are morphologically and genetically similar to the parent. Asexual reproduction is common among single-celled organisms, plants and animals with relatively simple organizations. Let us see the methods of asexual reproduction. So one such method is binary fission. In binary fission, in which fully grown parental organism divides into two equal daughter cells during favorable condition. Examples we can give: amoeba, euglena, paramecium, green algae, etc. Here in this chart you can see a single amoeba which divides by binary fission in order to produce two daughter cells. In binary fission, first the nucleus divides, that is karyokinesis, followed by division of nucleus, division of cytoplasm takes place, that is cytokinesis. On the basis of plane of cytokinesis, binary fission is of three types. One is irregular binary fission, as you can see in case of amoeba, longitudinal binary fission in case of euglena, transverse binary fission in of paramecium. So here you can see the chart of amoeba, euglena and paramecium showing the three different types of binary fission. As in case of A is amoeba with the irregular shape, the division of cytoplasm is said to be irregular. So it shows irregular binary fission. In case of B, which is a euglena, the division of cytokinesis in longitudinal axis. Hence it is showing longitudinal binary fission. In case of C, showing paramecium, where the division of cytoplasm takes place in the transverse plane, hence it is showing transverse binary fission. So if the parental organism divides into many small daughter individuals, now it is called as multiple fission, as you can see in case of Plasmodium. There is a concept called encystation. During favorable conditions, amoeba withdraw its pseudopodia, which is a locomotor structure, and secretes a three-layered hard covering which is called as a cyst wall around itself. This process is called as encystation. So, when favorable condition return, the encysted amoeba divides by multiple fission and produce many minute amoebae, or can be called as pseudopodiospores. In the cyst wall burst out and the spores are liberated into surrounding medium to grow into new amoebae. This process is called as sporulation. The second method of asexual reproduction is budding. In unicellular organisms like yeast, the division is unequal. The small buds that are produced that remain attached initially to the parent plant, which eventually get separated and mature into new yeast organisms. In case of Hydra, which can reproduce asexually by producing external buds. These external buds, which are initially attached to the parental organism, when get fully matured, detaches from the parent organism and grow into new individual. Internal bud, which are called as gemmules, seen in sponges, which contain special cells called as archeocytes. This special cell, during favorable condition, can develop into new individuals. Here what you can see is a structure of gemmule. Thank you. So other different methods of asexual reproduction will continue in the next video.